Divine peace and blessings. This is Abarisha Ifatumasi Renans, and tonight's discussion will be the Book of Life. Okay, and what the Book of Life is. Alright, so let me first start off by saying that the Book of Life, also known as the Akashic Records, is a Sanskrit word. Akasha is a Sanskrit word that means sky, space, or ether, or it could mean all three of those things. And with the Akashic Records, and why I call it and have titled this the Book of Life, is because the Akashic Records is exactly that. It is a book of life. There is a deity that writes down all of the life experiences of everything that has a season, a time, a lifespan, that breathes, that grows, that dies in the winter, that moves, anything that can grow life. So it means, saying that, I'm saying that even the planets, the birth of planets, the death of planets, the birth of galaxies, the death of galaxies are all written in the Book of Life. The birds and their lifespan, everything down to the little itty bitty teeny weeny ant in its lifespan is written in the Akashic Records, that Book of Life. So we human beings have been here for billions of years, and we too have had many lives written in the Book of Life. My first time hearing of the Book of Life was in the Bible, and so I remember as a youth, excuse my camera, I gotta get used to this. I remember reading about the Book of Life when I was in my youth as a Christian, and wondering if my name was ever in that book, because I think it was a bit misconstrued, and you had to be a special person or something like that, I gather, at that time, in order to have your name in the Book of Life. And I thought that the Book of Life was heaven. But the Book of Life has nothing to do with heaven or hell. It records who's in hell, how long. It records who's in heaven, how long. And that could be a state of mind. Rather you're in a hell state of mind or a heaven state of mind. All of that is recorded. If you have ever had to go into the underworld or the other world for a lifetime or 3, that too will be recorded. Rather it's 1 through 10th dimension, whatever. All of that is recorded. Every deity, every god, every goddess has a record in the Akashic Records. They too have a lifespan, okay? So with that being said, the Book of Life, aka the Akashic Records, have been around since time immemorial. And just imagine, since the beginning of time, if God said, from a Christian standpoint, that, the Word was with God and God is the Word, then that was the creation of a scribe that would record. And everybody won't agree with that breakdown, and I really don't care at this moment. I'm just pulling from my juggernaut, and assessing all that I have come to know of the Book of Life and the Akashic Records, aka Akashic Records. Let me say too that the Akashic Records, it's been recorded that the Akashic Records has been used by many people, from Hebrews to Christians, to Muslims, from the Chaldeans to the Tibetans to Chinese to the Greeks to the Kemetnu people or Egyptians, to the Persians and the Bampo people of Himalaya. It has been, even the Indians, native Indians, and the East African Indians in the world have recorded the use of the Akashic Records, and having knowledge of the Akashic Records or the Book of Life. So the Akashic Records is in fact real. I know it to be real because I have been able to tap into my Akashic Records. And I enjoy the energies that the Akashic Records offers. Whenever you access the Akashic Records, you are engulfed in unconditional love. And it's almost addictive to have experienced those energies. It reminds me very much so of the energies that surrounds the Netter Osset. And her energies are full of unconditional love for, women, girls, and all mankind, and human beings in general. She just has unconditional love for us. She will be considered the mother goddess or the divine mother, okay, of unconditional love. So I'm creating this video on the Akashic Records because I was inboxed today with regards to a reading on Akashic Records, and I figured I'd go ahead and expound on the topic a little bit. For me, it was really quick and easy for me to access the Akashic Records through a prayer process. And I'm going to go ahead and put this prayer in the video so that everyone can have access to it. It may not be your cup of tea. Let me say that there are multiple ways that you can access the Akashic Records, and everyone's experience will not be the same, meaning it'll all be a beautiful experience, but there are different ways of interpretation, meaning you could be more of a visual person. So therefore, you may see images or symbols or a movie being played before you. You may be a person with a throat chakra that works really great with communication, so the Akashic Records may speak through you. You may be a person who meditates heavily and could access the Akashic Records while in a trance. You may be a person that is also good in the throat chakra, that uses words very well and know the power of words and can access the Akashic Records through prayer. So I was able to access the Akashic Records through prayer on my first try after reading Linda Howe's book, The Akashic Records, and her pathway prayer process really helped me, and I tell you, the experience is unbelievable. The energies are beautiful, and everyone is welcomed to benefit and access the Akashic Records. No one is discriminated against. One thing that is said about the masters, lords, and loved ones is that they love us unconditionally. And because they love us unconditionally, all of us have access to the Akashic Records. And the information there is for us all. So, again, I'll go ahead and post the process prayer, the pathway process prayer, and then I'll come back to you on how to access the Akashic Records for yourself. Alright, welcome back. And that was the Akashic Records, aka Book of Life, or Book of Life, aka Akashic Records pathway prayer process that I learned how to access that realm, the ethers. Alright, so it's a bit tricky. The prayer, you don't just say it as you saw it on the screen, and it's numbered because you would say lines 1 through 13 out loud, and then you would repeat lines 8 through 13 silently twice. Okay, and then after you say those twice, then you would say you would announce that the records are open once out loud. Okay, and I'll put that up here next for you to actually see what I mean. Stay tuned for my next video where I'll show you how to access the Akashic Records of those who ask you for your help after you've mastered your own, of course. Divine peace and blessings.